Hello, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, hi, my name is Taylor and I post videos on a weekly basis about all sorts of fitness and lifestyle stuff. So if that is the type of content that you are, looking for, you can hit that subscribe button down below and hit the bell icon. Anyways, we're going to jump straight into this video, which is, as you can tell by the title, I am ranking all of the activewear brands in my closet. So obviously this is not a comprehensive ranking of every activewear brand in the universe, because there are a lot of them and I only own a few, but I have picked out the 7 that are most prevalent in my closet. So I didn't pick anything that I only own one item from, because I didn't figure that would give a wouldn't really be fair to rank something that I have one pair of leggings from as compared to multiple outfits. So I only picked things that I have at least one item from and are usually a top and a bottom. So I've at least got a little bit of, something to go off of, so I'm not just completely making all of my assumptions based on one item, because obviously you know how different collections and things like that work. So sometimes something that maybe just doesn't work in one, just because one style doesn't really work doesn't mean another one won't. So I decided to kind of narrow it to ones that I own a little bit more of. So the 7 brands that are going to feature in this video are Alo Yoga, Bombshell. I need my list. I don't know why I thought I could do that off of the top of my head. Alo Yoga, Bombshell, Fabletics, Girlfriend Collective, Gymshark, Lululemon, and Tala. And because so originally my concept for this video was just gonna be, a straight 1 through 7 ranking and then kind of explaining. And then I realized as I started to try to rank them that it was very difficult to just, objectively rank these 7 things, because I love them all. Obviously I love all of these brands and they wouldn't be parts of my activewear wardrobe if I didn't love them. So none of these brands I even though the lowest ranked ones in any given category are not things that I don't like. It's just, I had to put them in order. So I decided to, help with the ranking process by giving myself 3 categories. So the first category is going to be price. The second one is variety. So just their collection and the differences in styles and whatnot. And then the last one is just kind of a oomph factor, anything that's I guess kind of ranking what is the most flattering. This one is obviously going to be a little bit subjective, because something that is super flattering on my body type may not be super flattering on somebody else's. These are just, my personal recommendations as far as what I have found to be the most flattering styles, yada yada. Let's get into the video and I will stop talking. Okay, so the first category is price, and this one's a little bit more objective. There's not really a lot of opinion here. This is really just me literally looking at the website and seeing how much things cost and putting them in order. So on this list, the #1 performer is Fabletics. I don't know if you have ever seen any of their ads. They have they're the ones with the 2 for $24 leggings when you join. They also do you can get an outfit a month for $50. It's occasionally sometimes more $60, $70, but still that's a whole outfit for $60, which is really, really cheap for activewear, especially when we're I'm looking at higher end activewear brands. That's a really, really good deal. Next up is Gymshark, which is also I've found to be pretty reasonably priced. There are certain collections that are more expensive than others, but on the whole, very well priced. Followed by Tala, which is everything is recycled, and so it's all super environmentally friendly as well. And their stuff is a little bit pricier, I've found, than Gymshark, but still on the whole very, very reasonably priced, especially for sustainable fashion. Very well priced. Next up is Girlfriend Collective, which is another sustainable brand, also very well priced. So these two actually are surprisingly high performers, even though sustainable stuff typically gets a rap for being more expensive. They're both very, very good on that front. Next up on this list, #5, is Bombshell, and their stuff tends to be a little bit more on the pricey side. They're kind of their leggings typically go for around $80. Their sports bras, some of the cool cut ones are $60, so a little bit pricier. Next up is Lululemon. So we all know Lulu's expensive. Like this is a thing we all knew. So I put on a pair of new Align leggings for the first time a few days ago, and I was like, oh yes, I remember why these cost $98. They're gorgeous. They're $98 once again. So definitely on the pricier side, but the priciest brand as far as, you know, just general trends go is definitely Aloe, and I love them to death, but their Moto leggings are $115. That is a lot of money for a pair of leggings. They are gorgeous and flattering and I adore them, but yeah, that's a lot of money. Now we are moving on to the second category. So at the end, I'm going to like total all of these, and so the brand with the lowest number of points is like my winner. But they're, once again, I said this, they all get a participation trophy. They're all winners. They all exist in my activewear closet. They're still in my like top 7 brands ever, because I have decided to purchase them. So anyways, segue aside, moving into the second category for variety. So my top list on variety is the one that was at the bottom and the last one, Aloe. I think they have like the best variety as far as like totally different styles of leggings. Like they have ones with the cool like cutouts. They have ones with like the leather inserts, not really leather, but they like make them look leathery with like the Moto type. They have ripped ones. They have like all the cool like lines and detailing. They have a ton of different styles of sports bras and a ton of different like jackets and things like that. So I have found that there's so many different like styles that I want to try in them, and they have so many different colors, and it is lovely. Next up on the variety list is Gymshark. Gymshark is they come out with new collections constantly, and some like are continuations of older collections. Some are, you know, long-standing ones, but on the whole, they come out with new collections with totally different styles pretty regularly. So they have like their like ombre collection, they had the slouch stuff, they had the camo, they have all the like energy seamless, and so there is a lot of different style collections and different sets that you can really go for. So you've got a lot of options, especially if you're like following them for a while and like can see like when everything drops. Number 3 is Fabletics. So Fabletics is, on the whole, has a lot of variety. They have a lot to choose from. They have a lot of new outfits that drop every single month, so there's always something kind of new and interesting to go check out. I do find that like some of their stuff tends to like be a little bit more similar. Like it's not quite as like diverse as Aloe's range as far as like all the different styles of leggings. Like most of them are like relatively similar, like they're all color blocked or they're all just like plain. So less variety, but still a ton of different colors, and a lot to work with. Next up on the variety list is Bombshell. So they are known most for their like sock leggings. The ones that like have either the like knee-high socks or the thigh-high socks on them. So that's the thing they're known for, but they also have a ton of different styles as far as like cool like cut-ups up the legs. They have a bunch of different sports bras with like really interesting cuts that I like don't typically see on a lot of activewear brands. So they've got some good variety going for them. Next up on this list is Tala. So they have a couple of different collections that have dropped, and those have all been like very different styles. I mean, but the thing is they are like a relatively new brand, so they don't have quite the like collection breadth as some of these higher ranked ones. So they really have like their like main core collection, and they've had a couple of smaller collections drop that are more like, they had like a unisex collection drop, and they had like this like really fun neon collection drop. But on the whole, a lot of things are really similarly styled, which is like fine. But once again, this is a variety ranking, so that's where we're going there. Lululemon is number 6 on this list. If you're wondering why I ranked them so low, I personally think, I mean, their website is obviously like pretty expansive. Like it looks like they've got a lot of stuff. It feels like to me a lot of it is like incredibly similar, but like slightly different fabric or like a slightly different cut on shorts, instead of having like super wide varieties of things, and like super different cuts on like sports bras and super different designs on leggings. Like they're all pretty similar, but they've got like a bunch of colors, or like slightly different fabrics. So for me, I just have never really like seen their like variety as like a thing, like, and it's all like seems like in a relatively similar color palette. Like they tend to go for a lot of like muted colors. So love them, but they just have always kind of struck me as like narrow. Like there's always been like a set limit to the number of things that I'm like, oh, that's totally different from any other like Lululemon item I've seen or bought before. And then the last one on this list is Girlfriend Collective. And once again, I'm not saying lack of variety is not a is like an inherently bad thing, because they do their line very well, but they have like three different pairs of leggings and like 2 different sports bras, and they have it in like a set collection of colors, so it's a relatively narrow range. Granted, I love them, like I love the stuff that they come up with, but once again, yeah, it's all pretty much the same deal no matter what. And the final category that we are going with is this like flattering oomph factor category, which, you know, I just said this, but we're gonna say it again. Subjective. This is going to be very subjective, because I have a different body type than, you know, the person next to me. So something that I find super flattering on myself may not necessarily be super flattering on someone with a different body type. So take this section with a grain of salt. But that being said, my number 1 ranking for most flattering stuff is going to be Bombshell. I love the way that their stuff fits. Their leggings I love so much, like the thigh-high socks and the like high-waisted, and then the really cool and like, you know, slightly risque sports bra styles. Like I just think a lot of their stuff is like very like, you know, it's kind of sexy. So I'm here for it, and I like how that looks. So they are my number 1. My number 2 for flattery, there we go, that's a word, is Aloe. And I love their stuff as far as like the way that their leggings fit me. Their sports bras are all really, you know, well cut and flattering as well. So I have just found that like the waist, like the way that their high-waisted stuff hits me is fantastic. I don't have a lot more to say there on that one. Next up is Tala. Obviously, like, they have a lot of oversized stuff, so that's not necessarily going to like fit the like oomph factor, although I wear a lot of their oversized stuff because I love it. But as far as their more like fitted workout clothes, their leggings are just on point. Like, I don't know what it is, but they do miracles. So I love them, and I think that whatever that fabric is just works really well, and it's so good. So I always feel kind of badass in like one of my little sets from them. Number 4 on this list is Gymshark. So with Gymshark, I feel like it's a lot of hit or miss. So I've had some collections where I've just not super loved the way that they've looked on me. Or, you know, I've like changed my opinion of them over time. But some stuff is like, yes. Like the Energy Seamless sets, I love them to death. Like, they are so cool and so flattering, and I wear them all the time. The Camo Seamless is, my black Camo Seamless set is like, I feel like a boss in it. So that, it's just, you know, or like the Slouch stuff I love. So, but then like I've had like, like the Nikki B set is, I just don't like where the waistband hits on me. So, you know, hit or miss. Number 5 is Lululemon. So, talked earlier about, you know, the putting on a new pair of Aligns and being like, this is why they're $98. Align leggings are like, oh, they work miracles. Like they're so insanely flattering, and I love them. And a lot of their, like, I love their shorts. Like they're like pretty much the only place I buy like running shorts from now instead of Nike. So their stuff is on the whole like super flattering. I've not liked a lot of their like workout tanks that I've gotten from them. I also have found that for me personally, there's this weird trade-off. It's only in tank tops. It's not in sports bras because I can size appropriately in sports bras, but with tank tops, I have to make the decision of like, do I want it to fit my body or do I want it to fit my boobs? Because if it fits my body properly, my boobs are just like squished in and like pressed up a lot. It's not the most comfortable experience. And it like pancakes them against my chest. Like, yeah, they kind of look lifted, but they are also just like squished. So in that sense, they're not the most flattering in that particular regard. Number 6 on this list is Girlfriend Collective. So once again, like not unflattering. I just, you know, they don't have the same like Talo where like the leggings, like I feel like everything's like lifted and like my like butt looks so good in them. Like I don't feel like any of the like Girlfriend Collective things do that have that same sort of like compression or like, you know, shaping effect. So yeah, that's why they're number 6. And number 7 is Fabletics. I think it's because I tend to like slightly more risque, like, you know, I hate the word sexy, I really do, but like that's what I tend to like vibe towards as far as activewear, and a lot of their stuff isn't really that. So if that's more like your thing, then obviously like you're going to love that brand a lot more than like say a Bombshell brand. But for me personally, it's not like I don't have a ton of outfits from Fabletics that I'm like, yes, this is the one I put on when I want to feel like I'm gonna like take over the world. So that's just how that one falls. So now that I have, you know, gone through my individual rankings, the final tallies are, we're gonna start from the bottom for some dramatic effect. There are a lot of ties on this list because despite trying to use an objective system, I still couldn't, you know, fully rank things. I did so good. All right, so my bottom 2 are Girlfriend Collective and Lululemon. Both had 17 points, you know. This is arbitrary numbers. I don't know why I'm, you know, you got a nice little scoreboard here. But then I really didn't do everything's tied. Everything is tied. There's tiers. Like this is like the bottom tier. The next tier up with 11 points is Fabletics and Tala. So a solid tier 3. Tier 2, once again, tied are Aloe and Bombshell. And then my number 1 brand on this list goes to Gymshark. So it's really funny how when you add all of these up, like all of the extremes and all of the like averages, like Gymshark was never number 1 in any one category, but they were like so middle of the road the entire time that they end up winning. So interesting stuff. That's how math works, but there we go. That is, you know, my full ranking of, you know, these brands. So Gymshark takes the prize for this video, I guess. So, which is fitting because I own a lot of it, so it would make sense that it gets a lot of love. Anyways, that is kind of the end of this video. It is definitely the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you want to see more from me, hit the subscribe button down below because I post new videos every single week and you don't want to miss them because they're good. I am obviously biased on that. Anyways, I shall see you next week. Bye.